People can easily live with their parents. I'm still young. I'm not supposed to work in like France or Japan. That would have been such great content. And you're not getting younger, so thinking what other people think, and like 18-year-old entrepreneurs, CEOs of Facebook and whatever, and I didn't do that, which I regret. My 9 life regrets. Hi guys, my name is Salta. On this channel you see a lot of information about Kazakhstan, what it's like to live here, and one of the things that I wanted to share is because I have a little bit of experience of living both in Kazakhstan and in the US, I do have some things that I compare with the two cultures, and some things that I regret. Like, do I regret going to the US? Let's find out. So when I made videos about Borat, a lot of you noticed that we have a lot of beautiful women in Kazakhstan. And then I made videos about dating in Kazakhstan, and you also expressed interest in dating some people in Kazakhstan, men and women. And I've actually gotten a lot of messages into my email contact@saltas.com where you were requesting and asking for advice how you can find someone in Kazakhstan you can meet, or how you can meet people in Kazakhstan. And I actually thought about this idea, and because I got a number of those requests, I was like, maybe I should make some kind of application where we can meet people from around the world, like people in Kazakhstan can meet people around the world, people in like Australia, China, Korea, whatever country you're from. You can meet people from Kazakhstan, but not only from Kazakhstan. And I just realized that in the time of pandemic, in the time of globalization, where everybody's like traveling around the world, everybody's becoming global, everybody speaks English, and I feel like this is a perfect time for us to meet people virtually from around the world. And that's why I decided to create this app called Fiancio, and I'm still developing it. I do have background in computer science myself, but I also have my teammates who are helping me out. So if you have any requests, if you have any ideas, if you're interested in joining when the app launches, you can go down below and click on the link fiancio.com, where you can leave your comments, your requests, your email. I will get back to you when we have the first demo version. So yeah, hope to see you there. Okay, the first thing that I regret, and that also relates to two different mentalities, is that in Kazakhstan, what I noticed that people don't usually start to work very early. A lot of teenagers, they don't work until like they complete high schools at least, or they graduate from universities. But when I went to the US and I saw a lot of students, working in a student cafes, or having part-time jobs, or doing bartending, being waiters, like I was very surprised, because I really liked how American culture does emphasize being independent, starting your life as soon as possible, basically being independent. In Kazakhstan, we depend on our families a lot until we graduate from universities, or we get married. People can easily live with their parents. People can easily, just like depend on their parents again. Like they can not even earn any money until they're married, and that could be in their 30s. So, and I had that mentality too. I thought, I'm still young. I'm not supposed to work. I need to graduate from school, and then I'm gonna try to find some kind of jobs. But then you don't have that much experience once you graduate from universities. And by the time American students graduate, they usually have like some kind of work experience. They have that's like life experience. You do interact with your colleagues, you do learn how to like apply to jobs and things like that. I feel like that's a lot of experience that's very valuable. And in general, if you become independent so soon, you just start to make your decisions about life very soon. You start to find your path very soon, I feel like. And you don't depend on anyone, you don't wait around. And that definitely happened to me, which I also had the scholarship that paid for my studies, that paid a stipend that I used to pay for my expenses. And so I didn't really need to work, but that would have been just nice for my own life experience, and I didn't do that, which I regret. Number 2 is not going to study abroad, because I was a transfer student and I was trying to finish up all my classes that I missed out on and that didn't count for my degree. And so I had very packed quarters. We had quarters in my school. But really, if I really wanted to try, I could have done study abroad from the university that I was in. But technically I was abroad anyways, like being in the US was abroad for me. But I could have used an additional opportunity to have a quarter of studying in like France, or Japan or China, whatever that is. And I didn't do that, and I really regret that, because that's a different experience that people had, a lot of friendships that they made, it's just something fun that I wish I had, basically. Number 3 is something that I finally actually started doing this past year, and in general I started doing more, but I didn't do and I regret, is documenting everything, basically, filming everything. And if I was filming everything that I was going through in the US, that would have been such great content. Now that I have some kind of idea what content is like and what it is and what people like to watch, I personally would love to go back and watch those videos and see what I went through. And in general, if I share some kind of experiences about my university life, I have nothing to show you. There's nothing that I filmed, there's nothing that I captured, and that's something that I regret. And I feel like maybe 10 years down the line, I remember of this year and I'm like, I should have filmed more, but no, this year I'm filming everything that could possibly be on camera. So that's something that I feel like would apply to anyone. So if you just want to have it for your own memories, that's great, because it doesn't come back. Life goes on. This day is never going to be is never going to come back, and you only have that specific moment to capture things. And you're not getting younger, so I feel like that's just a really good tip, to just film everything, just even for your own memories. But if you are becoming a content creator, that's even more useful. Number 4 is something that I regret and I learned through my therapist and some specialists that I went to, is something that I really should have trusted myself more, because I was always leaning on others. I was always thinking what other people think, and trying to kind of be even a people pleaser. And I didn't speak up my mind too much. I didn't choose activities that I wanted to do sometimes. And nobody knows what's best for you except from you. Only you can make the right decisions for yourself. Only you know what kind of decisions are the best for you. So I feel like it would have been nice and better if I just trusted myself and started doing what I want to do, started doing what I love from early on. And I might have had better results now, but it's not like I regret it. It's not like, something bad happened, but if I could do something more back in the days, I would have done that. Number 5 is something that, if you ask me, do I regret going to study to the US, I would never say yes, because I loved it. It's the best experience that I had. I love my school, I love people there. But I feel like something that I regret about it is that I didn't actually take the most out of it. I could do so much more there. I could do so many more activities. I could be so much more active. I could have socialized more, made more friends, be in touch with them, and created some kind of, businesses or startups and maybe projects. There's so much that I could have done, and I feel like I could have done a little more than I did. I did a lot of things there. I have a lot of friends from there. But in general, I feel like something was stopping me maybe. And I actually was talking to my friend from college 8 years later, and we both came to the decision that we didn't socialize enough. We had that small group of friends and we would stick to each other, but we should have been, we should have gone broader. We should have talked to more people, different types of people. And yeah, so if you are going to college in the near future, keep that in mind. Number 6 is a huge one. Oh my God, I discovered it in the past few years maybe, or maybe just the past year, is something that I wish I was not afraid to make mistakes. Because you're in your 20s, you're always oh my God, what people are gonna think? Oh my God, what if I fail? What if I do this and then I end up somewhere bad? So a lot of things, a lot of cultures, in Kazakhstan, for example, we do, and in general, I feel like globally, it's very, overnight successes, early successes are very popularized, 18-year-old entrepreneurs, CEOs of Facebook and whatever. So we kind of think that it's kind of given and it's supposed to be there and everybody's supposed to be this successful, and if you, God forbid for you to make one mistake, that's it, you're done for your whole life. But to me, I just learned that all of the mistakes, all of the failed startups, all of the failed ideas, all of the failed relationships even, like everything was for a reason, and it was the best thing because I learned so much, and I would never do those mistakes, and I would only be in a better place after that. So I feel like I'm now actually consciously am trying to make mistakes as soon as possible because I do need to get to a certain place, but you can't get there right away sometimes. You need to make so many mistakes, learn that this doesn't work, oh, then this might work. So I feel like now let's say in Silicon Valley, people started to appreciate mistakes. They say, oh, you tried so many startups, you tried so many ideas, and so that's good because you've been there, you know what it's like. And being like perfectionist, trying like to avoid all the mistakes is kind of limiting you, and you don't take actions. But instead, if you're not afraid of mistakes, if you're not afraid of like failing and doing something wrong, you just keep doing, and then something good comes out of it. So I do regret that I was thinking like that, and hopefully you won't make my mistake. Number 7 is something, again, when it comes to trusting myself, I always wanted to sing, and I never let myself do it until I graduated from school. But like my whole college life, I was dreaming of doing like singing and all of that. So I came back to Kazakhstan, I did a music video, I did a couple songs, but then once I did that, I kind of like felt that I accomplished something. And then I stopped because it was kind of expensive, it was a lot of hassle. Some of my family members would not even support me in that. Like they would say, why would you do this? And like not even family members, in general, people would judge you sometimes. So that all of those things kind of stopped me from singing. And now 5 or 6 years later, I'm like, dude, I should have continued to do it. Like, don't listen to whatever people say. Don't listen to anybody. Just do whatever you love to do, what you like to do, even if it's not going to bring anything, because that brings you joy. That at least you're enjoying the process. And if I would have done that 5 or 6 years later, I would have been in a different place, and I might have been far ahead. But nobody knows. But I just think that if I could have done it differently, I would have just continued doing it. Number 8 is something that I also discovered in the past couple of years, and it is therapy. And I regret not going to therapy earlier because it's something that just shifted my mind. I took off all of the negative thoughts, whatever that was going through my mind. Everything that blocked basically my actions, I got rid of because of therapy. And I feel like I have this path that I want to take. And all of these rocks are in my path, and I need to remove all those rocks so that I can walk freely, basically. And that's what therapy does to me, because I have a lot of fears, a lot of things that don't exist basically in my mind, and I try to get rid of those, and therapy helps so much. And I wish if I would have done that earlier, I might have been in a different place, but I don't complain. Last but not least is stereotypes. And I have to admit, I did have some stereotypes when it came to even my own culture. I was kind of idealizing my culture, or idealizing American culture or people, and kind of putting people in some kind of boxes and some kind of categories. Some dumb example that I would give you, I don't want to give my own examples because they're a bit personal, but if you think about zodiac signs, for example, and you're like, oh, this guy is Cancer, or oh, this guy is Scorpio, and you start to attach those qualities of those kind of signs, zodiac signs, to those people, and you start to expect the behavior from that person, and you just categorize that person and put them in the box that doesn't allow them to show themselves. And in general, you can't divide people in 12 different categories, so many millions and billions of people on planet Earth into 12 categories. It doesn't work. I mean, they might have some kind of features. In general, we have so many stereotypes like that, not only zodiac signs. So I wish I just was more open-minded earlier, and was considering different types of situations, was trying to get into someone's shoes. And because I had those things, it kind of led to the decisions I made concerning living in the US or living in Kazakhstan. That's something that I regret. So yeah, if you like this video, here's another video that you might like. Comment down below if you like this video and something that resonates with you, or maybe you agree or disagree with. And yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my other one. Bye guys.